March 15th, 7:30 a.m. Interstate 75 stretched endlessly before Mike Carson's 18-wheeler. 23 years behind the wheel, Mike had seen it all. Or so he thought. This freight run from Atlanta to Detroit should have been routine. Just another 1,000 miles of asphalt. Mile marker 212. That's when Mike noticed the dark sedan ahead. The car was weaving. Left lane. Right lane. Back again. Erratic. Dangerous. Mike eased off the accelerator. Something wasn't right. His instincts were screaming. The sedan lurched violently to the right. Then the passenger door flew open. Something small and dark tumbled out onto the asphalt. Mike's blood ran cold. This wasn't road debris. This wasn't trash. This was alive. A puppy. Barely 8 weeks old. Thrown from a moving vehicle at 60 miles per hour. The sedan sped away without stopping. Without looking back. Without caring. Mike had seconds to decide. Keep driving and forget what he saw. Or risk everything. In that moment, everything changed. For Mike. And for one tiny life fighting to survive. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Mike's hands gripped the steering wheel as the unthinkable unfolded before his eyes. An 18-wheeler traveling at 60 miles per hour doesn't stop on a dime, but something broken and helpless lay motionless on the hot asphalt ahead. Mike had less than 3 seconds to make a choice that would change everything. He slammed his foot on the brake pedal with everything he had. 40 tons of steel and cargo began its desperate fight against momentum. Cars behind him swerved wildly into adjacent lanes, horns blaring in panic. Drivers screamed past, some with middle fingers raised, completely oblivious to what Mike had seen. This wasn't just about traffic or inconvenience. Mike's $10,000 delivery was due in Dallas by midnight. Missing that deadline meant losing his contract, maybe even his livelihood. But as the truck finally shuddered to a stop, Mike saw exactly what he'd risked everything for. A small, golden shape lay crumpled on the scorching pavement. It was barely breathing, and time was running out fast. What Mike discovered in that roadside ditch would haunt him forever. A golden retriever lay motionless among the weeds and debris. Her beautiful golden coat was matted with blood and dirt. This was Bella, and she was barely clinging to life. Her breathing was labored, each breath a desperate fight for survival. Mike's heart shattered as he knelt beside her broken body. But what he saw next filled him with rage. Old scars covered her body. Evidence of months of abuse. This wasn't an accident. Someone had tortured this innocent soul. Mike looked around desperately. The highway stretched endlessly in both directions. No other vehicles. No help in sight. His cell phone showed no signal bars. Bella's breathing grew weaker with each passing second. Time was running out. And Mike had to make an impossible choice. Marcus knew every second counted. He had to get this dying dog into his cab immediately. He grabbed every blanket and towel from his sleeper cab. Makeshift bedding for a broken life. Bella whimpered as he lifted her. Her body trembled uncontrollably against his chest. Inside the cab, he placed her down gently. Her breathing was getting shallower by the minute. His hands shaking, Marcus grabbed his phone. He had to find an emergency vet, fast. The first clinic was closed. The second, 30 miles away. The third finally answered. 24-hour emergency animal hospital. 15 minutes away if he pushed it hard. Marcus fired up the engine and hit the road. This was now a race against death itself. Every red light felt like eternity. Every mile stretched like a marathon in his mind. He kept checking on Bella. Her pulse was fading. Her eyes were starting to glaze over. The emergency clinic appeared ahead. Bright lights, hope, and veterinary expertise waiting inside. He burst through the doors carrying Bella. The vet team took one look, and their faces went grave. Internal bleeding. Possible spinal damage. Multiple fractures. The initial assessment was devastating. The lead veterinarian looked at Marcus with eyes that had seen too much. The prognosis wasn't good. The emergency room doors slammed shut behind the veterinary team. Bella's life hung in the balance. Internal bleeding, ruptured spleen, shattered ribs piercing vital organs. The damage was catastrophic. Dr. Martinez worked with surgical precision. Every second counted. One mistake could end everything. Mike paced the waiting room floor. His boots wore a path in the linoleum. Hour after hour, the surgery stretched into the night, then into the next day. Mike never left. Day 2 brought devastating news. The bills were mounting. Mike's savings were disappearing fast. $8,000, $12,000, $15,000. Numbers that would bankrupt most people. His dispatcher called. His loads were backing up. His job was on the line. But Mike made his choice. He wasn't abandoning Bella. Not after she'd fought this hard. Day 3. Dr. Martinez emerged from surgery. Her expression was unreadable. The surgery was successful. But Bella's fight was far from over. Recovery would be brutal. Mike approached her kennel slowly. Bella's eyes fluttered open. She was alive. Then something miraculous happened. Bella lifted her head. She recognized him. Her tail moved, just barely. But it was enough. The fight for survival had become something more. Mike stared at the pink slip in his hands. Terminated. Effective immediately. The delivery he missed to save Bella had cost him everything. But across town, something remarkable was happening. A witness had filmed the entire rescue. The video exploded across every platform. 2 million views in 12 hours. Comments poured in from around the world. Then came the donations. $5, $20, $50, hundreds. Strangers funding Bella's surgery and Mike's lost wages. $15,000 in 36 hours. But the biggest surprise was still coming. Premium Transport had seen the video. They wanted the man who chose compassion over profit. 6 months later, Bella had made a complete recovery. But her real journey was just beginning. Mike couldn't bear the thought of leaving her behind. Bella became his permanent co-pilot. Together, they crossed 48 states. Bella's head hung out the window, finally experiencing the freedom she'd never known. At truck stops across America, their story spread. Other drivers began sharing tales of animals in need. That's when Mike realized something profound. Bella hadn't just found her purpose, she'd helped him find his. They started the Highway Angels Animal Rescue Foundation, using Mike's trucking network to save animals nationwide. In their first year alone, they rescued over 300 animals. each one getting a second chance at life. Truckers became volunteer transporters. Rest stops became rescue waypoints. An entire community mobilized. Bella, once discarded like trash, now traveled as a queen, her story inspiring thousands across the nation. The dog who was thrown away had become the heart of America's largest trucker-based animal rescue network. Mike often reflects on that night. How one moment of compassion changed two lives forever. Some might call it coincidence. Others call it destiny. But Bella and Mike know the truth. Sometimes the ones we save end up saving us. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more.